Okay, knock knock.
Who's there?
Spell
Spell who?
YYHO.
Oh, that's terrible. Hi everybody, JT and that other guy, episode 6. I'm JT, and of course we have the other guy,
Hello.
Ivan Miranda, of course. How
So
are
I
we?
was asking JT because before we realized that we were muted. How are you, JT?
I'm well, other than my inability to unmute a stream.
But that's an easy fix. If it is an easy fix, then we should not.
Yeah,
We shouldn't work.
I should get a stream deck or something.
Maybe I've been in a podcast where we used one of those once. It's not that easy.
Ah, yeah. Well, I've got keyboard shortcuts set up in OBS, but it's remembering the bloody things. So I'm thinking I'll do the right thing, and the way I will issue the macros is set them all to some weird character combination, and have a secondary keyboard where where I tape down the control key and the shift key, for example. Can't
That's
hear. Yes, no audio. Better. Yeah, of
yeah.
course.
We know, we know.
Yeah,
We
sorry about
realize.
that. Yeah, consummate
Just in time.
professionals.
Yes, we are going to be rich from this.
Oh,
We know that.
absolutely, we're going to be rich from this.
I want my trailer.
Not monetarily rich, but we'll be rich.
No, 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 no. Experience.
Correct,
Yes,
exactly.
experience.
So who do we have? We have Wellbot, Brian Vines, we have Teresa, we've got Adam, Mickey Appa, James Sonic Alchemy. I think that's it. That's good. That's all good.
And you know everyone, not like me because I have very
No is a interesting terminology. Certainly Twitter and
like
DMing and
2018 knowing someone.
yeah,
Not
absolutely.
1982.
Yeah, correct. Although
Yes,
apparently Adam and I have crossed paths before. We've been in the same room
physically
at the same time.
in the same part of the world in the same time, looking
When
each other's face.
when Angus was in Melbourne, both Adam and I were at the same venue, but we didn't know each other at that time.
Okay, so you have been in the same space.
Yes.
What you are saying is that your paths literally crossed, but you didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's how it went.
Okay. So I've been yesterday. I did post a couple of pictures on Twitter about a print that is now finished at 153 hours. So yesterday it was more or less 130 hours in. And while I was at home checking the remote video of the printer, I realized that there was a failure in the design, which was going to make the printer print a bridge that was like 200 millimeters wide on the air. And I didn't plan for it. I didn't thought of it when I was designing it, and I didn't put supports on the Simplify 3D. And I asked Twitter to place their bets on whether it was going to be successful or not. And people seem to believe in my luck or my ability to be lucky, however you want to put it. And this morning you tweeted that maybe I was going to reveal what really happened on the stream. And I also did share yesterday late at night an infrared photo of the same part, but this was because it was at night and the camera has only infrared lighting on it. It was a very appalling quality image.
Okay.
But now we have the verdict. We have the photo of the result. So do you want to show it?
Sure.
Or do you want to
No.
something?
We'll show it.
Okay.
Let me click.
Or did I talk enough?
Yeah,
about
that's
this?
all good. So there's the gap that you were trying to bridge.
Yes, and it did reach.
Yeah, I can see.
It has some strings on it, but not only there is the huge bridge from side to side, but on top of it you can see another line, which is a notch that comes out.
Well, let me
it's a
switch
protrusion.
pictures because you sent me a couple of pictures. Does that help you?
Maybe you can see better. There is a second line, and that's a protrusion because I can make an insert in another in a cover that goes there. So there are two bridges this long, and there is there are a lot of strings in there, but that's it's going to be usable. I will not have to reprint this part at least not because of that failure.
So this area here is bridged.
Yes, all of that is bridged, and on top of that, you can see another line with the protrusion that I mentioned.
This one.
That will that's an extrusion without chamfer or anything. So that's another bridge.
Okay. Wow. So, that's
but it worked.
Pretty terrifying. Let me close one. I'll bring the other image back. Don't save. Don't save.
And I did post on Twitter another photo of the same print a few days ago, because that's what happens when you are printing 100 and something 100 hours.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So I will do the.
Hold on. Let me put us.
Oh my God! How much light is in the back?
Hang on. We're not on that image yet. Yeah. Now we are. All right. So.
I don't know if you can see.
Very shiny. I can see your camera. I can see your Logitech 930 or whatever it is. There's way too much reflection. Oh, that's the one with the massive overhang. Yeah. Yes, good. Like that's good. Stop. Hold it right there. So this thing. Stop. I'm trying to use my mouse against you holding the phone. So this thing here is a giant overhang. Right there.
Yes.
And that's an insane angle.
Yes.
Wow.
And it came out perfectly from the printer. And that one, I already knew that it was going to happen, and I did just cross my fingers. And I've been asked on Instagram and on Twitter, which are my printer settings. It happens all the time. Which are my printer settings? The one that comes with Simplify. I do nothing. I think the difference is that when normal people is doing a print, they are doing a print like this big.
Yeah.
And when you take a photo, they zoom in, and the failures are really pop. But when you are doing something, this part in here is like 1.2 kilos of plastic.
Which is why you have 4 kilo rolls.
And that's why not this Friday, but next Friday video, I'm going to start the build of the big printer. Because I need to put those rolls to good use. I need a printer that can take one of those spools in one go.
Yeah. So you did send me a couple of other shots.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want to hold up your big red triangle that you showed me before?
Oh yes, I have a big red triangle.
It's an excellent triangle.
You put here your shaving razors, and they get sharpened again.
Ah, very good.
For free.
All right, now show us what it really is.
Or it could be a really simple spool holder. But it is a few, maybe in the first episode or on the second episode, I showed you one of a new design of a spool holder that I did with bearings where the spool was rubbish. It's terrible. The spools have fallen down, got stuck. I had so many failed prints because of them. So I swapped my previous design, a triangle and a spindle, and
what is it? 8mm rod or 12mm rod or something in there?
8mm rod, my favorite.
Yep.
And at least until I get a reliable source of 12mm inner diameter bearings, because the 8mm bearings are those used in skates.
Yeah.
And those are everywhere. You get them everywhere, very cheap.
Yep.
Absolutely. So I did a very quick redesign the other day before going home, and I did a little bit printing on Friday, and yesterday afternoon it was finished.
Oh, very good.
So
with your big printer that you're doing, I'm going to show
yes.
you. I'm going to show you a picture or multiple pictures. Which
Yes.
one? Which do you want me to show?
I think that one.
Show
That
that
one I
one.
think should be the first.
All right.
Yes. Anyone in the house wants to try and guess what that is? I'm going to go back to the chat. And Wellbot is asking me to do a full-size Ivan tank. The things that I'm planning to do with tracks, you will not believe it. It's going to be epic. H-Spot printer says Sonic Calculus. No, it is not. And there is a very good clue in the front cross, because that's the logo of the company that made the printer. That was bought by 3D Systems, if I remember correctly.
What's the chat saying?
Sorry, but if I don't drink coffee, I'm going to die here.
Teresa Hooney. I'll explain that to Ivan. Hooney is a terrible printer that Angus got, Maker's Muse, because it was so terrible. He took a vote, and many of us voted for Hooney as being the one for him to build, and it was crap. They didn't even use the sockets on the board. They soldered on the back of the sockets, bare wires. The nozzle, the stepper motor and the extruder was lower than the nozzle. In other words, the stepper motor was going to hit the bed before the nozzle did.
Before the extruder.
Yeah.
That's selling a printer that did never print.
Oh, he tried to make it work eventually by doing all the things right to it, and it just was a fail. So yeah.
Well, that one had it came in a box. Everything was labeled, and I saw what I had never seen before. It was a PDF with the assembly instructions, and all the drawings were 3D, and you could move the drawings in the PDF on 3D.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good.
That was 2010, I think, which back then, and it had 300 M3 washers.
Wow.
Just for you to put on. So they had an assembly manual where they told you where to put 300 M3 washers.
Awesome.
And another, more or less the same amount of M4, and it had M5 bolts and M8 rods, and yeah. Now you can show that image that you have there. No. That's the extruder assembly, which is that's madness. That's the extruder assembly, and those gears, they had so much play between them.
Hang on, I'll put your hands up because we can't see you.
Okay. Okay. The thing is that those two gears, the motor is driving another gear printed in acrylic. They had so much play between them that every time that it tried to retract, you heard a clack.
Okay.
So it was all the time clack, 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 clack. And after 1.5 prints, the gears broke. So I had to glue them together until I found in Thingiverse the designs of a guy named Child, Chyld, that had made worm gears for that exact same setup. I did print those on ABS, swap them, and it kept working like forever.
Oh, good.
But it had so many flaws, and it was so much difficult to tune and to make it work that seeing one of these days designs is it's offensive. Seeing how much have we evolved in like 5 years.
Oh, totally.
You see, if someone wants now really bad, they want get someone, a kid or someone that really wants a 3D printer. If I gave that box of parts to that person, he will hate me forever.
Oh, totally.
He or she. Yeah.
Shall I show this other picture?
Yes, that's the hot end. Try and guess what's going on in there.
A lot is going on there. Is that clay? What have they used for insulation?
That's fire cement.
Ah, fire cement. Okay, I was thinking
Yeah,
some form of clay.
they had in the below the triangle, to the right of that triangle, that blob of cement. They did send you kind of a small spool of isolated nicromium, which it has a much higher resistance than copper. It's the same stuff that is I mentioned that last time in air blowers. The things that you use air blowers. How is it called? The things that you use to dry your hair?
Hair dryer. Hair dryer.
Hair dryer. A hair dryer, or air heaters, the one that you use to cool a room or something like that.
Yep.
If you remove the wire that heats up inside of those machines, it's the same wire. Is nicromium, but they send you one that was isolated, so you can make a spire around the screw that they thought was the nozzle.
So
as you can see,
this is a bolt or something down the middle.
Now in this version, that's a bolt, because the nozzle that they sent to me was aluminum, and it grew another hole in the end. So it had a hole in the tip, and after like 10 or 15 prints, it created another hole in one side. So hot plastic was coming out of the regular end, and then it was coming out from another hole.
Wow. On
the side. So imagine if you complain now about stringing or something in a print, imagine that. Imagine that you have one string of filament coming down, and then from the side another one, getting all the part dirty. It was smaller, but it kept filling everything with strings of filament.
Wow.
So I did what I mentioned to you. I did grab a brass bolt, and I did make a tip from it and drill a 0.4 hole in it, and then I did get nicromium wire from one of those heaters.
Yeah.
And I started making spools, being very sure that no loop touches the next one, and using the fire cement to isolate it.
Okay. So
and that's how I did build another
DIY nozzle.
Yes, pretty rudimentary, because in fact, I didn't knew anyone that had another 3D printer back then. Not I had seen many.
When was this? 2010.
2010.
Okay. So we're a little bit we're a little bit luckier these days.
Mm. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Because we have lots of fancy machines that are really simple and easy to maintain, and we have Amazon.
Absolutely. Well,
you can order a new spare hot end for 17 euros in like next day delivery.
Yeah, except Amazon.com now won't ship to Australia.
Because
the GST, with our taxes.
You have to move the island next to another continent.
Correct. Shall I show this video of the hot end actually working?
Yes, and that's one of the ones I made. I made many.
Let's see if it actually plays. There we go. So, what thickness is this?
That's layer height is 0.4.
Yeah, so it's full. I was going to say it looks fat, chunky.
No, the thing is that it has an issue that you might have never encountered on another 3D printer, which is Z-axis wobble.
Oh, okay.
It had try to grasp what this means. It had 4 8mm rods.
Corners?
In the corners to lift up and down the bed. Those the bed was guided. It had 4 M8 rods.
Yeah, and 2 lead screws or something.
No, it had 4 lead screws, M8 lead screws, but as guides it was using 4 M8 rods. But only 2 of them had the how do you say, the small cylinders that made the rods tied to the bed.
Yeah,
so only
the
them were guiding.
Yeah.
The bushings, I think.
Bushings, yeah.
So only 2 M8 rods are guiding against 4 M8 threaded rods that were bent.
Okay.
So you had 4 rods doing this to the bed, and then you were printing. So every 1.25 millimeters of Z-axis movement, you got an entire wobble. That got imprinted in the faces of the bed, of the part.
Okay.
So that thick layer height that you may think you are seeing is zeta wobble on the faces of the part.
Wow. Okay. We have come a long way.
Yes.
I will actually try and find something I was looking at earlier today. While I do this, what have I done? Oh no, yes. I did everything right.
On the chat that
you can check out the chat.
Yes. And Teresa says that this is a hot end. Yes, that's a hot end. And Wellbot asks if that's for my forehead printer. At least forehead. I don't know how many, but yes. And yes. And I did leave that printer with that hot end printing at night. And I didn't mention. Have you seen in that video that the bed is just an acrylic sheet? It's not heated or copper or aluminum. It's just I was printing on top of an acrylic sheet. But
I'll bring it up again.
What I did is I made my own heated bed, but at the time I don't think there were many PCB heated beds. I don't think there were many sources where I could get a hold of power resistors. So what I did is I did remove that acrylic sheet, and I did use a 10 millimeter aluminum plate with Kapton isolating it on the bottom, and then I did put steel wire, making zigzags on the bottom of it. Yep. And then I did put cork to isolate it on the back, connected it to my lab power supply, and gave it like it was like 20 volts, 10 amps, or something like that. It took like an hour to get to 60 degrees, just so I could be able to print ABS with it.
Wow.
So my electricity bill raised like 150 euros a month, only just because of that.
Oh, okay.
That's insane. Yes. And I'm seeing something coming that I like a lot. Whoa. So, is people in the chat already thinking that I should have thrown away that printer?
Oops. Sorry, got a bit excited there.
Irblink says, Irblink, who is Irblink? Irblink.
IR Blinks? Yeah, Ian. IR Blinks. Yeah. He actually corrected the pronunciation of his handle recently.
How is it then?
Yeah, IR Blinks.
IR Blinks, okay.
Alright, so that should be showing. So that's Filament Frenzy. He's done a 1.4 millimeter, not 0.4. Oh, hang on, let me read it. No, 1.4 layer height.
That's thick.
Yep.
Whoa.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
And,
there we go.
But that's just the first layer, I think.
Yeah, but it's that's his nozzle. He's made the whole thing 1.4. So he drilled his own nozzle.
Drilling to 1.4 is easy.
Yeah, of course.
Drilling to point 4 is hard,
Yeah.
or to point 2. When I get a bag of Chinese hot end nozzles and I see point 1, point 2, point 3, I don't believe it.
No, I understand. So that's pretty cool. That's certainly on the thicker side of
Yes.
things.
Wow.
Let me find another pic while we're.
And which width of filament is he using?
It must be 175 because I saw
Yeah.
someone I saw someone recently doing a 1.75 nozzle with a 1.75 filament, so 1 to 1, and
But then
they bumped the extruded multiplier up. They did all sorts of
But then you need to you have to force the filament to kind of touch the walls of the heater, because if not, you are going to get the core of the filament is going to be cold yet.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it. I'll actually look it up for next week. That'd be quite interesting,
Okay.
actually. Um, but yeah, so that was Filament Frenzy, who's done a really large width or diameter print, whatever the correct terminology is, first layer anyway.
Okay, I might need one of those for my printer,
Oh
or a few
yeah,
of them.
wow.
But drilling the nozzles is easy, and building a heater block for that kind of job, that's easy also.
Yep.
Drilling, machining the aluminum, I think I can do that. Like making the hot end like this large or something like that.
Yeah. What am I doing
Okay.
here? Window. I need to go that, and I need to go. Where is it? There we go.
Hey, Fer Jerez is in the house.
Who was in the house?
Fer Jerez.
Ah, Fernando.
Fernando, yes. I can say Fernando Jerez,
Yeah, yes, you
which
can.
is how his name.
And Chris Lee is here. Welcome, Chris.
Yes. Hey,
All right, let me.
Fer Jerez is just throwing some light on our path, because he says that using a 1.75 or 2 millimeter nozzle with 1.75 filament works, and there is no cold filament inside. And I think, yes, I said yes. And I think he says that. Have you, Fernando, tried to do that, or did you do it? Now wait.
Now we wait for the delay, of course. Yes, he's tried. Okay.
Yes. Okay. We might need to do something together, Fernando. Something big and wavy.
Very good. Something else happened through the week. It actually happened last week, but I didn't actually address it. So this happened.
Your pockets, the money burns in your pockets.
You know, who needs coins? You got to get rid of the coins.
No. With this, you are burning bills. You are not burning coins.
That is very true, and in fact, it's
How much is it?
1,154 Australian dollars.
Sweet. Wow.
Sweet Palette Pro 2 plus whatever the hell it is, and that's without the hub.
You better show to me a print every week with 3 or more different filaments to justify buying that.
Yeah, ouch is exactly right, Chris. Yeah, no, $1,154. So I don't, whatever it was, $6.99. It was 100 and something US delivery, but I'd already committed by that stage. This is just such an ongoing thing. I'm going to start a warehouse in Australia for people, as in,
you should.
Companies can send me their shit, and they'll pay me to house it, and then when they want it shipped locally, I'll ship it. This is
That's
it's diabolical.
yes, yes. That's but how and why did you buy it? What do you plan on doing with it?
Because I don't drink and I don't smoke. So the money I've saved from not drinking that's why I bought it.
But
It's my hobby.
please don't tell me that you are planning on leaving that on the box.
No, no, absolutely not.
You are planning.
Uh,
You had to have something in mind
I have
at
some
least.
projects in mind. I've been approached to do some football coloured name tags for club colours.
Oh, okay.
Right, so it's easier
Have you
than
asked
doing
if
filament swaps and stuff like that.
that's a pretty lousy excuse.
You asked. I told you why. I'm inherently. I'm going to use the word efficient. Not lazy. I'm efficient.
I will put one of those to good use. I'm pretty sure, but I have to choose which investments I make because this thing in here is going to need. It's much cleaner now.
Okay.
Now I can show. I can do this now. I'm not ashamed of what is seen here.
It was perfectly fine last time I saw it.
No, it's now with much less trash.
Yeah, much less trash. Yeah, exactly.
No, I won't say no trash, but with
Much
much.
less. Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Ian and Chris are sort of talking about shipping and the how justification of such an expense. Well, you know,
Oh, Fernando, you are invited whenever you want to come. I don't know where are you based?
I want to
Need
say
to chat.
I want to say Canary Islands, but it's not Canary Islands. It's somewhere
If it
else.
is Canary Islands, we will have a harder time meeting up because at least we one of us will have to catch a plane. But
Hang on, I want to see what the answer is.
we
It's a
are
it's a
we
tax
need
haven wherever it is.
a drum roll
Oh,
to a lag drum roll.
there you go, Canary Islands.
Yes, he's living in the in Fuerteventura. Okay, in the Canary Islands. Okay. Just whenever you come to the cheap flight to North Spain. Okay, so we will have to think of something. Maybe you can come and try my new big printer with one of your designs.
Oh, but then you've got an issue. Is it Filamentum or a Printer Pro? Because
Okay, is he sponsored?
uh, I don't know if he's sponsored, but I've seen pictures of a cupboard that is just wall to wall Filamentum.
Okay. But we can work out. I don't think I will have a hard time with a Printer Pro. If I think we should print which
Oh, I'm
we will.
totally joking. Don't take me serious.
No,
I'm
no.
joking on this.
These things can get heated up pretty quickly if you do something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, Ian saying Filamenta Pro.
filament Pro. A printum. I like this. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the palette. Look, I'd actually been talking to the Mosaic guys for quite some time a few months ago, and I was about to buy the older model, and what happened was the M3D crane quad was announced. It's an i3, um, you know, a clone, Ender 3 sort of style, but it has a color mixing chamber, up to 4 colors. Now, my background is the printing industry, which is 4 colors: cyan, yellow, magenta, and black.
Yeah.
So for me, having or buying that printer, which I did, which I don't expect till the end of the year, allows for blending of colors ad hoc. So if you want a particular orange, you
Yeah.
mix red and yellow, you know. But the consistency of the color, I don't think, is going to be good enough like a roll of filament. But at a pinch, if you need, a color and it's close, then Again, it's just experimentation. I like gadgets.
Have you ever seen a print with the diamond extruder?
No,
Do you know it?
no. It's not like a ruby nozzle, or are you talking the
No,
nozzle?
it's like a huge nozzle with several inputs.
Yep.
Those have been around for a long time, but I don't know.
Is it color
Diamond.
blending, or
Well,
is?
but it is color mixing based, but I don't think there is hardware associated with it that can make it work.
Okay. Hey, Walter.
I'm searching for it right now. It's.
See you, James. So 3 into 1, Chris is saying. It's got 3, 5, or 7 inputs. Blends on the fly. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, that's actually not a bad picture. I'll tell you when to tell. Yep, good. Stop right there. Good focus. Lovely. Slightly to your left, I think. Yep, stop right there. Oh, yeah, cool. How much is that beast?
I think it's almost nothing. It has been around forever.
Okay. So what software controls it?
There is no software. They only send you this.
So it's not a great investment?
Depending on your skills. 35 euros. Like $40.
Okay. But what drives it? This is the thing. You can buy cheap parts of anything. You can buy a cheap laser module if you want.
That's only a mixing nozzle. The rest of the tool chain it doesn't come with the thing, so you have to.
Yeah, well.
But once you have the firmware that runs one of the machine that you are talking about.
Yeah.
You can.
Sort of like the black belt and the printer bot. The printer bot relied on the black belt version of whatever it was, Cura or Slicer or whatever it was. Yeah.
Right.
And as soon as they got it slicing and working at the 45 degrees, Printerbot was able to then use it. Yep. Sadly, Printerbot is no longer with us.
Yeah, but I devised a way of parsing the code from straight from Cura to shift every single layer, so you could print with any black belt clone.
Okay. Chris is saying
that's a pretty lousy parser.
Yeah, well, Chris is saying they're suggesting a duet, which is what you're looking at, but that's a grand, isn't it?
Duet with everything that I need to run on my printer is around a grand. Yes.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, see, the Crane quad that I bought was 529 Australian, so it's 450-ish US. So that's in theory a working color blending printer.
In theory.
Yes, of course.
Then there is the thing with modeling for it and slicing for it.
As always, and this is part of the interest. This is the hobbyist and tinkerer in me. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I've spent more money on less. Drones and bloody all sorts of shit. They are packed away in boxes. I don't ever use them anymore. Too busy inside.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. That's
lots of in fact there's lots of multi-material options. There was a tweet that Prusa put out
I've seen something
to Mosaic saying it wasn't great, but it was sort of having a slight dig, but I couldn't use it. I don't have a Prusa machine. So I sent that screen grab and said, well, I don't have a Prusa, so this is my choice. Oh, you just lost your network temporarily.
I'm back.
Yes. What happened?
I did touch something.
Yes, Chris, it was the girlfriend one, where the guy is looking at the other girl. That particular move.
I now remember it. Mr. Prusa has a
he's allowed to be cocky.
Yes, but
He's
because
allowed to be cocky.
only he is a printer.
Yeah, correct.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 printers on site that are Prusa style. He can be copied.
Prusa style, yes, of course. There's CR10s and i3 megas, but there's no
Yeah.
Prusas there, is there?
No, because they are expensive
Correct.
and they print small.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not saying that the Prusa printers are great. I think they are great. I've never used one. But I'm able to fix my own printers and make them work. They work. So for the same price that I can buy a Prusa, I can have a CR10 and a Mega i3, for example.
Yeah, you get 2 printers for the price of 1.
Yeah, and the MK3 is 220 by 220 by 220, I think. Still.
Thereabouts, yeah.
That's too small for me.
Yeah, of course. Teresa, what's the sadness sandwich? What did I say, or what has made you sad?
What's going on?
This is Teresa speak. I said something which made her sad, or overall sad.
Okay.
And here
Too
we go.
small.
Fernando's saying too small also.
Ferry's laughing because I said too
all
small.
your stuff not being used. Yeah, my drone stuff. Yeah, I should put them on eBay.
You should.
That takes way too much effort.
And then use all that money to buy another Mosaic Palette Plus.
Oh, yeah. Palette Pro.
Palette Pro also.
Oh, Palette Pro, darling. Yes.
I did once got my hands on one Palette Plus, and instead of using it, I did ask for a screwdriver and disassembled it to look inside.
Oh, okay.
I never used it.
Okay.
I just wanted to see if there was something that I didn't thought of inside of it. I get really frustrated when I don't know how something works, so I had to know.
Well, the video that Joel did on the Palette Pro, that's when I was in hospital, so I didn't actually see the video for 4 or 5 days, which meant I was lucky to still get the not that they were going to bump the price instantly, but they actually showed the workings of it, and it's actually really clever. The way that the feeds in and the slack adjuster, I'm calling it. I don't know what its actual term was, but it was really quite clever. Fernando, how many printers are you running at once usually?
I only print with 4 printers right now. I have 6. I have 6 working printers, but I only print with 4 of them, and I use SD cards. But now that I have a place where I want to stay, I'm setting up Octoprint on Raspberry Pi, on all of them. I have all the Raspberry Pis and everything being set up with Ethernet cables and everything. And in the end, I would like to have a camera with every Octopi, with Octoprint, and being able to set the printers remotely. But that's a work in progress. But that's what I want to do. I cannot show you the printers right now because there are things that haven't been made public knowledge yet. So
when you were talking about Octoprint and Octopi, etc., then my mind leapt to Octolapse and time lapses. And have you seen the 3D? Yeah, the dolly that Joe made.
Yes.
That was really cool.
He can invest more time than me. If I make design a part, print it, build the project, edit the video, and polish the video, he invested more effort only in that time lapse than I do on all of that. That's great. It's incredible.
Well, something arrived in the mail.
Whoa.
I don't know what it is yet. I know what it is, but I'll open it. I haven't opened it, is what I should have said. Okay. Because
Teresa says, sorry.
Yeah, so you can watch it fail remotely.
Yes, I can watch them fail remotely because I show. Can you see the camera there?
Yep.
it's pointing to the printers. It has a pan and tilt movement.
Does it have zoom as well? So is it PTZ?
No, it has zoom, digital zoom, which means nothing.
Which is crap. Yeah.
Yes.
How big would you like your pixels, sir?
Yes, and I can know if a print failed, but I have 2 4-channel on off devices, which will allow me to shut off every single printer separately, but I haven't still been able to connect it.
If you're going to use them, also upgrade their firmware to Takamoto or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called.
Whatever doesn't send my stuff to the Chinese government.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'll send you some links because I want to do something similar, and they're like $10 each, something like that. That was in the envelope.
Oh.
That was because I participated in the mural.
Yeah, I see.
And 3D Maker Noob branded Magigoo sample.
Okay.
Sounds good. The goo, yes, indeed.
Fair saying that if in where I live, which is named Euskadi Basque Country, if days are 40 hours long, or there is a secret for my high productivity, yes, it's named lack of sleep. My wife says that I'm hyperactive. I'm diagnosed hyperactive. So I don't watch TV. I don't go out. I don't drink. I don't smoke. This is the only thing that I do, and I love it. ADHD, yeah. Yeah, squirrel.
Yes, squirrel. Yeah, trying to get Ivan to focus off camera before streams and stuff. Oh my god, he's awesome on stream. He's awesome as you know, but Jesus, wrangling him.
That's the tension of the life.
It's like wrangling cats.
Yeah. Yes. My wife is always tells the things that she wants me to do or to know. He always says to me the things twice. He says, I need you to go to this place. I need you to go to this place. Because he knows the first sentence is only to get my attention. It's worth nothing. So first he says something to me, gets my attention, and then she repeats it.
I'm going to bring up something else, which is sort of related.
Oh yes. Do you know that I'm allergic to cats?
I did not know you're allergic to cats.
I'm heavily allergic to cats, and yesterday my in-laws were at home. They have a cat at their home, and I'm still sneezing because of that.
Oh really?
Yes.
Let me do this.
Yeah, I like cats.
This will relate to what your wife says to you. You'll relate to this.
I see.
Let me switch it across.
Yeah, something like that. Yes. But the thing is, if I know that I have to do it and I remember to do it, I will do it. But I can genuinely forget about it, or even not noticing that it had been told to me in the first place.
Is that because it's not interesting for you?
It can be, but most of the time it's because I'm not there.
Okay.
I'm thinking about something or designing in 3D on my head, or thinking about something really, really absurd. Yes.
I'm going to show one more picture about my stupid cat.
That's better bridging than mine.
It is pretty good bridging, actually.
There is a little bit of sagging.
Yes, a little bit. How can this be comfortable, people?
But you think if you have a belly,
I have a belly.
then
Yes, I do.
if you lay facing down, your belly gets pressed against the surface.
Yeah, but there is no
But
surface.
if you leave a hole below your belly, then you will be comfortable.
No, because the mass of my belly will pull my spine down and snap me in half.
His belly is much smaller than ours.
Yes, true. Anyway,
Her belly. It's a
it is a she. Yes, you know.
Okay.
Hang on, we'll just say lol. I'm just reading. Oh, we're talking about Vegemite again, are we?
I never had a cat. I had a hamster. I have a bird, a parakeet. I had fishes. I had I'm trying to remember the species of mouse. Yeah, and how do you call it? Because in Spanish is Indian bunny, but I don't think that in English is the same translation.
Okay.
It's doesn't matter. Squirrel.
Squirrel, exactly. Hey Brian, how you going? Thierry is also with us. Thierry Dieu.
Yes.
Have you had Vegemite before, Ivan? Do you know what Vegemite is?
I know what Vegemite is because I am a very big fan of Colin Hay.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, I know the lyrics of his songs. So I know about the Vegemite sandwich.
Yep.
But I never tried it.
Okay. Brian Vines, who's in the chat, BV3D, private messaged me the other day saying, how should I consume this? He found a jar in the supermarket. What should I do? And so I gave him some tips and, some advice behind the scenes. He made a YouTube video on him eating
really?
on it. Yes. And
is it good?
It's really salty. It's vitamin B. It's an extract of yeast or some shit. I don't know what it is, but it's salty as anything. You could substitute it as a stock cube in cooking. But if you spread it really thinly on butter and bread, no problem. But what Americans do, and I'm generalizing here, just about every American I've seen, they get a teaspoon, they stick it in, and they go, and they wonder why it tastes like crap, because that's not how you have it.
I'm surprised, and I'm generalizing here, that they didn't try to fry it and then eat it.
Yeah, I understand.
But I only know. I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, sorry. Correct. We learn our American culture from TV.
Which is whichever culture you learn from not living it, it's a disaster.
But we do have kangaroos jumping down the street. We have koalas in every tree. Sarcasm tag. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tag.
Slash.
Exactly. So deep fried Vegemite. Okay. Brian's thinking about it now.
Have you ever had a koala in your hands? Or have you ever touched a kangaroo?
Yeah. I've touched kangaroo and I've touched koala. At the zoo. Not in the wildlife. Not in the wild.
No?
No, they'll bloody they'll tear you apart. Nah.
Grabbing the eucalyptus branch and bringing a koala inside.
Correct.
No,
yeah. No. Although I guess California could be a habitat for koalas, because California's got a shit ton of eucalyptus trees. I don't know if it's the right sort, and I don't know, climate, whether it would actually work. No, I haven't touched them inappropriately. Just thanks for asking.
Risha says that they nearly hit an emu during the school run. Emu. Sorry.
Yeah. That's
and
okay.
How big is the bigger spider that you saw at home?
In real life, maybe
in your home.
Yeah, this big. My dad, what he used to do, he'd get Pyrex dish over the top of the spider.
Yeah.
Then he'd put the, I'll say inch tape, because back inch tape underneath to measure the leg span of the bloody monster that it was. So he would then take a photo of the wingspan of the spider. So
The
yeah,
legs.
I've seen leg span. Yeah, I've seen literally a hand sized spider before. The body is probably only this big.
Yeah, but those are not the really dangerous one. I think.
No. But a redback spider is your thumbnail,
Stein.
your little nail. That's a black widow, I guess, is the US equivalent.
Okay.
Yeah, well
Here
we ride kangaroos to school.
Here we don't have anything that can kill us not even in the wilderness.
Bullshit.
If I go to the mountains, to the forest, there is nothing that can kill me.
You don't have snakes. You don't have wild animal that'll eat your face off.
No.
Oh, how disappointing.
Where I live, there are no bears. There are no snakes. There are snakes, but they are not venomous.
Venomous, yeah, venomous.
And the only thing that there are like deers or cows or rabbits but nothing that can eat you. Wolves.
I was going to say that, Teresa, but I thought it might be politically incorrect. They have bulls.
No, they don't. No, the bulls, when they are in the wilderness, if you don't go towards them or get in their way or anything, they will do nothing to you.
Of course.
Because they are not predators.
Yeah, of course. And
they don't want anything.
It's only when you stab them with pointy sticks that they get angry.
No, there is only the idiots that live in the same country where I live that do that. But that's stupid.
Of course it is. But tradition.
I would agree with bullfighting if it was a closed arena with no escapes, no exits, naked bull, naked fighter, close the door, fight.
That sounds good.
I would say if the bullfighter kills the bull, then he can do whatever he wants. Okay. But at least I need a fair fight.
Oh, totally.
I'm imagining the equivalent, the U.S. equivalent tradition. A bull in one side, an American guy in the other side with an AR-15, killing the bull at 100 meters away with like 100 rounds of lead, and saying that this is tradition. We will be swearing against that guy.
Of course.
But as we are using swords, and the bullfighter is risking his life, bullshit.
Bullshit, exactly.
Literally bullshit.
Yep. No, totally.
That's stupid. That's absurd, and it's a shame that we are still doing that.
I think running of the bulls is fair.
Yeah, there is almost no animal suffering there. Still, I don't think that the bulls want to be doing that. They
of course not. No.
Better off eating grass in the mountains.
And chasing cows.
Yes, chasing and when they
when they catch the cows, they say hello, Mrs. Cow.
Yes, they present.
When a bull loves a cow, they get married.
I've heard that in when a bull loves a cow.
Really?
Sorry.
Oh, you can sing.
When a man loves a woman.
A woman, yeah. I understand.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Thunderstorm Matador Edition. Maker's Moves are very good. So the puns
we have so many crazy traditions because you only know about bullfighting, but I think we don't do that anymore. But we threw
tomatoes. Is tomatoes yours?
Yeah, but that's between people. I don't care about what
Yeah,
people
okay.
does.
Yeah,
People. But what do you say? The sheep that is not a sheep that has horns that bumps into things.
yeah. Goat.
Yes, we
Goat.
used to throw goats from the top of churches to the floor.
Why?
No, no, no. But I'm talking about 5 years ago because it is a tradition.
Oh, okay, good.
How on earth? Or we used to hang live ducks from a rope in the middle of a rope, and then people on the water with the rope was lowered into the water, and people used to grab the head of the duck, the live duck, and then people pulled the rope, and the guy lifted from the head of the duck until the head of the duck came off.
Oh, people are horrible.
Tradition. In here, in the name of tradition, horrible. So if you ever come to Spain and they say that they are going to bring you to see something very traditional, don't go.
Okay. Yes, Teresa, humans can be garbage.
Yeah, Fer told me to tell about the goat on the top of the church
Oh, okay.
because this is how on earth. Because even if we did it in secret, okay, nobody knew about it, but the news there is news coverage, and they talk that the tradition this year we are launch again the goat. That's stop it.
Ian's just come back. He stepped away for 15 minutes and it turned into a horror show.
Sorry, we should switch.
Well, it's just about time anyway.
Yes, we should leave the stream in this high note that
Wow.
we are very good coffee.
Well, all right. Well, that's that's episode 6 done and dusted, I would suggest.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Ladies and gents, thank you very much for your attendance. Ivan, thanks once again. We're still working on your trailer, of course. The red M&Ms we've put in a bulk order, so hopefully they'll come as well. But shipping, mate, shipping is very expensive.
I hope to hear the truck backing up to my door very soon.
Yeah. Perhaps consumption of Vegemite becomes a tradition. All right. On that high note, thanks one and all, and we'll hopefully catch you all next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.